longer 1937.
She's not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story. With a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years. The cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power.
I made a video about this back when this clip first went viral, which feels like it was like 2 years ago at this point. It feels like this Snow White movie has been coming out for 2 years and it just keeps getting worse and worse. But apparently it's really coming out now. So I wanted to revisit this viral clip because I have some thoughts. First off, as a woman, I am very tired of Hollywood trying to sell me this I'm a boss lady, I don't need a prince, I don't need a man to save me, I can save myself narrative, as if it's something new. It's not new, okay? It's not revolutionary. If that's the story you want to tell, the woman being the hero, like, have at it. I'd prefer you not butcher Snow White in order to do it, like make up your own story, but go ahead and tell that story. Just don't try to sell me or other women on the idea that it's a new story, that it's something we've been clamoring for, that it's like a subversive act of storytelling. It's really not. In fact, in the year of our Lord 2025, the subversive act of storytelling would probably be to stay true to the original 1937 classic, because nowadays that's dated and controversial and people wouldn't like it and people would complain because she doesn't save herself and and he kisses her while she's asleep or dead or blah blah. People would have all sorts of complaints about it. So that would be the true act of subversive storytelling. Making the woman the hero and a fighter and a leader, that's not subversive, just so you know, okay? Second thing is, just because you can do something on your own as a woman, and I would question whether you can defeat an evil queen who can shapeshift on your own and one who can cast spells. I would question whether you can really defeat an evil queen on your own as the average lady, but that's neither here nor there. Just because you can physically, literally do something on your own as a woman does not mean that it's not wonderful for a man to honor you, cherish you, respect you, love you enough to want to either help you do it so you don't have to do it on your own, or do it for you and act like a hero for you. It doesn't mean you can't do it on your own, okay? We all know women are capable of things, not capable of everything a man can do. No, sorry, ladies. But we all know that women are quite capable of things. But it is still wonderful for a man to step in and take care of business or save the day. Women typically like that. Example might be, it still happens nowadays, although unfortunately not as much. A man would open the door for a lady historically. And that's not because women could not open doors and didn't have arms. No, it was an act of respect. It was an act of chivalry. And women historically like that. And in fact, I believe that somewhere deep down inside, beneath all of our feminist programming, we still very much like it when a man steps in and does things and takes care of business. And it really has nothing to do with whether we are physically capable of doing it on our own. But also, we can't do everything men can do, okay? Which brings me to my last point, more or less, which is that nowadays a lot of women, I hear them complain about low effort men who will text you what you doing at 3 a.m. after they swipe right on you and they don't even want to take you on a date, or they want to split the bill with you, whatever it is. And yet then we take a beautiful classic love story like Snow White and the Seven Dwarves and we call it weird and dated and stalkerish the way that the prince behaves towards Snow White. So which is it? Do we like the low effort dudes who really aren't that into you and certainly aren't going to cherish you or try to save the day? Or do we like the men who do their best to act like your hero? Which, because the narratives aren't really jiving together. Which do we like? Okay. And by the way, it does need to be clarified for the record that in the original 1937 film, he does not stalk Snow White. He hears beautiful singing and he scales a wall or a tree or whatever it is to see where the singings come from, and he realizes that it's a beautiful young woman who has a beautiful innocent spirit, and he becomes taken with her. And then a lot of things happen in the interim, and he travels many miles at the end in order to see her laying in her coffin, and he kneels before her in an act of reverence, and he offers her a kiss, true love's kiss, and ends up breaking the spell. Okay, that's not stalking, that's reverence. That's paying respects, that's caring about someone's existence. There's nothing wrong with stories about true love or stories where men are the heroes. There's nothing wrong with those things. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't go see Snow White and the Seven Dwarves this week or whenever it comes out. You can stick with the original 1937 classic because it does it quite well. And there is a reason why these Disney films that a lot of us grew up with, which are oftentimes based on Grimm's fairy tales, there's a reason why these stories are classics and stand the test of time. So maybe if I were Rachel Ziegler or whoever, maybe I would think about that next time before I poo-poo it and, denigrate it. Just my 2 cents, okay? I will see you guys next time.